Hi, fourth grade. Welcome to Monday Math. Today we are talking about quadrilaterals. All quadrilaterals have 4 sides and 4 angles, but there are many different kinds of quadrilaterals. So today we're going to skip this page. I want you to turn over to page 926, and this is going to be an important diagram for you to memorize, for you to refer to. We're going to talk about 4 different types of quadrilaterals. And so let's take a look. There's the parallelogram, the rectangle, the rhombus, the square, and the trapezoid. So the 2 things you need to remember are, when we talk about quadrilaterals, we talk about how many sides are parallel, and we talk about how many sides have equal length, and we talk about the type of angles here. So let's talk about this. A parallelogram has opposite sides equal in length and parallel. In addition, opposite angles have the same size. So take a look. This is a parallelogram. 2 sets of parallel sides. Now I want to show you something. In many things, if something has the same length, they put little hashtags or little dashes on it to show they have the same length. So this is a parallelogram. You can see the lines are parallel. This side and this side are equal. That's why they have one little notch. This side and this side are equal. That's why it has 2 little notches. Now I want to jump. This is a parallelogram. It has 2 sets of opposite sides that are parallel. But jump down to the trapezoid. A trapezoid is a parallelogram, but it has only 1 pair of parallel sides. So take a look. You have a trapezoid here. 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a quadrilateral, but it only has 2 parallel sides, not the other. None of them are equal. A trapezoid could also look like this. Now this one even has a right angle, but it still is a trapezoid because it only has 2 sides that are parallel, not all 4. You just have to remember that. Now a rectangle, you've done this since preschool, has opposite sides equal in length and parallel with 4 right angles. So look at this. Opposite sides the same length. I'll put a little dash here and a dash here. Opposite sides the same length. But this one has square corners. That's what makes it a rectangle. Now here's what's interesting. Did you know that a rectangle could also be called a parallelogram because the sides are parallel and the opposite sides are equal? So a rectangle is a rectangle, but it's also a parallelogram. And it's also a quadrilateral. It's not a trapezoid because it's got 2 sets of parallel sides. All right, let's take a look at the next one. A rhombus has opposite sides equal in length and parallel. It has 4 equal sides. So here's a rhombus, parallel, but 4 equal sides. So now what I'm going to do, I only have to do 1 dash here. That shows that all 4 sides are the same. Now what's interesting is a rhombus could also be called a parallelogram. A rhombus is a parallelogram, but it's not a rectangle because it doesn't have square corners. All right, let's take a look at the next one. A square. A square has opposite sides equal in length and parallel. It has 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. So a square, as you can see, has 4 equal sides. Now you've known that, like I said, since preschool. Square angles, that's what makes it a square. The sides and the angles. So what's interesting is a square is a rhombus also because it has 4 equal sides and they're parallel. A square is also a rectangle because it has the parallel sides and the square angles. It's also a parallelogram. So as you do some of these exercises, you're going to have to classify all the things something is. So this is a square, it's a rhombus, it's a rectangle, it's a parallelogram. Trapezoid has 1 pair of parallel sides. And it says here, like I said, a rectangle, a square, and a rhombus each have all the attributes of or characteristics of a parallelogram. So they are also parallelograms. Now what I want you to do right now is I want you to stop the video, go over to page 927, and I want you to do numbers 2, 3, and 4. Classify each quadrilateral in as many ways as possible. Stop the video and do those 3. Okay, so what is this? Well, look, it's got parallel sides, so this is a parallelogram. Did you get that right? I hope so. What about this one? This one's a little tricky. It almost looks like a triangle, but it's not. See these 2 sets of parallel sides? That means it's a trapezoid. Now take a look at this one. Well, you knew it was a rectangle, right? It looks like a rectangle. But did you also write parallelogram? Sometimes something can be more than one name. It's a rectangle and it's a parallelogram. Now here are some shapes from real life. I want you to write the most specific term. In other words, it might be a parallelogram and a rectangle, but the more specific term is rectangle. Go ahead and write that. Okay, did you write rectangle and trapezoid and square? Okay, then you are ready to do your IXL today. Have a good day and God bless you.